Good morning. Good morning. I am trying to find a charger, but good morning. I will be giving a part one to a story time. So come on in and let me know if you can hear me. Hopefully, this thing is going to work. My charger. Don't y'all hate these iPhone chargers? They're so flimsy. Like they do what they want to do. But anywho, I'm going to start this story because I'm going to do my endpoint in less than 20 minutes, and then I'll come back with where I left off and do my part two. So, this story is very important for me to officially speak on. I've spoken on it very quickly, but I never fully told the story of how it kind of shaped my life a little bit. And so I wanted to dive into that. And the story is about how I was attacked by my sisterhood. And I wanted to speak on this because of what I've been seeing. Good morning. I wanted to speak on this because I see so much going on social media, which makes it worldwide, right? It makes it where I can tap in and listen in on different situations. But this situation was more personal because I went to college with these people. And literally months before our graduation, I am being cut in my face by someone I had known for more than 4 years. So I wanted to speak on that. Let this story be known, but I never went into details. And so here we go. When I became a freshman in college, first of all, I didn't even think I could go to college, right? Because I was a foster kid. And in New York City, a lot of people are not very nice in how they deliver their love to you. They're not very nice on, or trying to help you get somewhere. But there was a few people that did take a liking to me and they helped me get to college. They put up monies, they helped me get everything I needed. And I was able to move on campus, which is like 2.5 hours away from where I lived. Now, I was in a program that allows you to go to college at least 2.5 months before school actually starts. And it's not orientation, but it was more so of a program that you go in, and it's like a college boot camp that you get picked for through this school lottery. And you can stay on campus for a month and meet other kids like yourself, underprivileged kids like yourself. And when I got in this program, it was 100 and maybe 45 or 147 of us. If you're in New York City, you've heard of the EOP program, or you've heard of programs like it that help kids, get into college and do what they need to do. And so when I became a freshman, I was alone. I didn't have no cousins that went to this school. I didn't have no family members. My sister didn't come to the school until I became I want to say a junior or sophomore. Then my sister went to the same college as me. And I officially had some family on campus. But before then, as a freshman, I was all by myself. So a lot of the girls, the sisterhood that I met, we met through this program, right? And we all stuck together because we were a small group of people. We were all in the same boat, underprivileged. We all wanted to, get our college degrees and be these college girls and live it up, party. We wanted to do the things. And I met a group of girls, and probably in my part two, I'll start showing photos so that you all can see how big the sisterhood group was. But we began to hang out and party and do things and hear each other's stories. We were in class, so we were able to hear people's personal stories and get connected to them. Where there was another girl, she wasn't a foster kid, but she went through something similar as me. And so her and I became really close. As we became close, she was more close to her roommate. I was more so close to my roommate or my quad mates. Quad mates were, 6 people. So those 6 people I was close to, some of them spoke Spanish. I spoke Spanish, so I can kind of connect with them. Some of them, came from upstate New York. So we would tease them and say, you're not from the city and the regular stuff like that. If you're not from Brooklyn or Harlem or Queens, or the Bronx, then you're like, you're not from the city, right? So we always used to tease and stuff like that. But there was a group of us, it was at least 7 of us, that said we'll stick together no matter what, right? Even though you live on this quad, I live on this quad, we'll meet up for breakfast, we'll meet up for lunch, or if you want to go hang out at this boy's house, I'll go sit with you, stuff like that. And we're moving through freshman year into sophomore year, and things begin to change, right? So some girls have long-term relationships, they have their boyfriends over all the time, or they don't really want to come party because their classes are harder. So the sisterhood kind of dwindled down, and not due to beef, but more so growth. I was one of those people, it was whatever with me. You want to hang out? Let's hang out. You want to study? Let's study. That was down for whatever. But when it was time for me to go and spend money, I noticed that a lot of the girls wanted to hang with me from that. I was receiving at least $3,500 to $4,000 a semester for school. And I let it show. I was buying Gucci shoes, all types of unnecessary stuff. Girls around me got cars. I wasn't thinking about no cars. I live in Harlem. I don't need no car. I need a fresh pair of J's or a fresh pair of Uggs or some shoes for the club. I was thinking about stupid stuff with my money. But I always noticed the girls that I stayed close to, it's time to go to the mall. Here they come. I want to go to the mall with you. I want to ride the 90 bus. We're going to go to the mall. We go to the mall and Sabrina, buy me this shirt. Sabrina, buy me this. Sabrina, this $5 shirt is not going to hurt your pockets. This, and this. And it's like, okay. But I noticed that these people kind of wouldn't do the same for me, right? Over time. Not to bore you all with the college life that I dealt with as far as the partying and just being a college girl, more so the friendships started getting closer outside of school. I was able to, and during the summertime or the Christmas time, I was able to go and take a train or a bus and meet up with some of these girls and actually see how they live in their personal life. They were able to come and see my personal life. But one young lady, um, wow, the young lady that I wanted to stick close to that had a similar background as me, I went to the Bronx and I was able to meet her family. Good morning, Teresa. I was able to meet her family. And I saw, met her sister and we hanging out and the sister is making us drinks and we had a great time. And then it got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm going to go see my mother. I'm going to go and see my mom and go kick it with her really quick. I said, you want to come? And she was like, yeah, I'm in the city. Yeah, meet up. Now she dropped out at the end of freshman year and she came back junior year. So she had missed an entire year of my 4-year college lifetime. When she came back is when I was able to let her go and meet my mom and we started hanging out a lot. But I noticed her self-control level was not there all the time. She'd be ready to turn up and we wasn't really always on that. We in these lavish dresses. Back then it was like you always at the prom when you go to the club. Now these girls barely wear nothing, but back then it was all about the dress and how long it was and your shoes and all of that. And so we noticed that she was kind of taking a turn for the worse. She was kind of doing things that were not stuff that I like to do. But I liked her because we were from this program and we had a loyalty to each other. We had a sense of sisterhood. Like nobody else on this campus knows what we've been through. We know what each other been through. We know each other personally. I've watched some of you get dressed into your club outfits. Like that's how personal we are. So you would think the loyalty was there, right? Nope. As time went on, I started realizing or feeling personal that I was being used by some of the girls in the group. So I started to distance myself from them. But that's hard to do, right? Because when it's time to go out, they're there. Or when it's time to go kick it at homeboy house, they're there. Or, when I'm getting ready to go and go to somebody else's dorm or apartment, they're there. So it was hard to avoid these people. And we tried to do our best to be peaceful or cordial with each other. That didn't always work because I would hear them talk about my ex roommate and her friends behind their back. One of the girls had halitosis really, really bad. And so they used to always crack jokes about stuff like that. I didn't really feel comfortable because I was close to this young lady. I really loved her. And so I didn't like to join in on those conversations. But then they'll try to be like, oh, well, we might not want to have these conversations around Sabrina because, she may go and tell what we said. That was never me. I wasn't on that type of time because I've heard them say their stuff against, these other group of ladies. So picture it as two dorm rooms combining as one sisterhood group. However, some of these quad members don't like some of these quad members, or I don't want to hang with these people because they do weird stuff in the night. I don't want to do that. So that did not work. Well, we move forward, and now new people are being added to our group. People I don't know, freshmen's being added to our group. I'm looking at them like, who are these girls? And then I realized, okay, this one has a car. That's why y'all want to hang out with her. This one has ties to downtown Albany. Okay, y'all want to hang out with her for this. So, looking at stuff like that kind of confused me because, again, I was a foster kid. So, technically, there was no family to speak of until my sister got there. She had her own life, but it just made me feel like, dang, like, are y'all hanging out with me for a motive? Or y'all kicking it with me for a motive? I thought we were all loyal to each other from this EOP program. And now y'all are doing weird things behind my back. It's odd. Or y'all are asking me for things you can't replace. And as you get up in college, hell, I can't afford this big ass apartment. I'm broke as hell. I have maybe $6 or $7 to my name. Good morning, Denise. Maybe $6 or $7 to my name after I pay my little bills. It's awful, child. The money had stopped going from 3,500 to 4K to I may get 1,500, 2K a semester by the time I got to the end of junior year. The end of junior year, I wanted to start to separate myself because I had a relationship with this guy and I was just so all about this damn dude. Lord have mercy, fix it. Was all into this dude, not stun nobody. I didn't care. Leave me alone. I love this dude, right? He was just my every little thing, child. And my friends used to say stuff like, you don't hang out with us no more like you used to. You always under this dude nuts. And I be like, so what? You be under your man nuts. I hold your secrets. You was just sleeping with such and such and such and such and such. And then your man came up and then I don't tell your business. Why you in my business? Well, tension started to flare because, when you're meeting people that are different from you or they think different from you, you're going to have, your altercations and your arguments and stuff like that, right? I never fought any of these women. Some of them have fought each other, but I've never fought these women. I've had arguments with them. I didn't call them all type of everything but the child of God. They didn't call me everything but the child of God. But we always came back. We always loved each other and wound up just getting back. Even if I didn't really speak to them that way, we was always just kind of cordial until until oh lordy 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 it took for us to go to a special event called the pajama party where all of us are basically half butt naked, child. And we're at this club and it's 8 of us, and the young lady, I'll call her T, I won't say her name, the young lady that had the similar background as me, T wasn't able to go. She didn't really want to go like that. And she was actually withdrawing from the school, but she was withdrawing before she told us she was. So we were like, why you don't want to come to the party? Well, her best friend, which I will call, what's her name? Because her name's very weird. L. I will call her L. They were best friends because they were roommates for quite some time. But again, they're a part of our sisterhood. So she was able to go. And she's like, well, I'll just sleep, with Sabrina room. Like, if you're not going to come, I'll just sleep in Sabrina's room. For some reason, that was an issue. And I didn't understand the issue. We're all here together. What's the problem? This girl has met my mom. Nobody else has been able to come over to my house like that. Like, I've never let nobody into my life like that. So I'm thinking, what is the issue now? You're getting ready to leave the school. Now, when I got the information, I knew. So in my mind, I'm like, why she don't want you to stay in my room? She was like, I don't know, T acting crazy, this and this and this. She in her feelings because she got to drop out again. I'm like, that doesn't make no sense. But okay, well, how do you come back to the school and then drop out again? That's her business. So shit like that was starting to irritate me. But this ding dong pajama party and just watching how some of the girls operated with some of the guys that they claim they would never do stuff with, they wound up doing stuff with. That didn't sit well with me. I knew I knew their man's family. So I wasn't with it. I don't want to know. When your man come and show out at this school, I just don't want nobody to say I knew about it. So I used to like to get the hell on. But for some reason, T was at me. She was just the weird text messages. Facebook wasn't big like that back then, but we had the Blackberries, so we would BBM, and I noticed that I was removed from the BBM group. I'm like, what the hell, y'all gonna remove me from the BBM group? Okay. I said, okay, that's cool. We get to this pajama party, and everybody's doing their own thing. They're trying to get another friend, the friend that they claim had the halitosis. They wanted her to leave. They didn't want her in our space, and she was already doing her own thing anyway. And that was my closest friend. So in my mind, I'm like, that's kind of weird, y'all acting funny with her, but okay. I wound up being with the guy that I was with, and I went with him. I wasn't stun nobody, until the morning. And we getting ready to go and eat breakfast. And I was just telling them, like, I want something to eat. Do y'all want to come? It's cool. How about we all get to the breakfast? We all at Denny's. Guess who pick up the check? Me, my black ass. I pick up the check for 10 people. Why, Sabrina, is your ass paying for 10 people, grown people, to eat breakfast after a party? So y'all already know I'm ready to flip. I'm ready to get crazy because I picked the check up. But where I went wrong was I didn't speak up immediately. I didn't say something. I let it ride. I'm thinking all of these people as my friend. They got whatever guy friend that they was booed up with. That's why it was 10 people, because they had some of the guys that they were booed up with come to the breakfast. None of these Negroes pulled their wallets out, money out, nothing. And T is there. And I'm looking at her too, but it's not really that serious to me. I don't mind feeding you. I don't know what your issue is, but we all here together. It's whatever. Apparently there was conversations had without me. I was unaware of certain stuff. So when it got time for me to speak out against what happened at breakfast, that's when shit hit the fan. And I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna come back for part 2 and let y'all know how I wound up being cut in my face, because that was crazy. But yeah. And before I leave, I will let you know the reason I'm telling this story is because, like I said, it shaped who I am today and how I operate towards other women. It shaped how I am and why I speak up on certain things or why I shut down on certain things. Because when you're in a big group, you can get lost, and everybody wants to be seen, right? Everybody wants to be heard. I've heard plenty of people say, when I get ready to tell my story, ain't nobody need to do it, anybody. Trust me, everybody has the need or want to be seen and be heard and their feelings to be valid. But when you're in a big group and there's a lot of people that think differently or a lot of conversations that are happening without you, things can get misconstrued. Um, so I will be back with part 2. It may be later on today. I've been pretty busy. My daughter, before I leave really quick too, my daughter was just accepted into the gifted program for her school. So we've just been working with her on different school stuff. And I've just been putting some of my focus there and doing my little quirky post here and there. But I will be back. Thank y'all for coming to part 1. Bye.